So one of the things homeowners should consider when buying a heat pump is, I mean, aside from the product itself, whether or not it's cold climate, preferably inverter driven so we can get a better performance out of it. But I would say the most important thing is to find the right company to do it for you. You know, a heat pump is a pretty complex piece of equipment, right? And you want to make sure that the people you're trusting to put it in are actually doing it properly, configuring it properly, sizing it properly. All this is going to play into its performance. And I mean, you're not buying a heat pump every 2-3 years. You know, you're making an investment for 10 to 15 years. You want to make sure that on day one, everything's done properly. So I would say that's probably the number one thing that should be considered when purchasing a heat pump.
That's a good point. Like, we have a very strong culture at A1 around the refrigeration license. You know, everybody that's out there working is either a refrigeration mechanic or a refrigeration apprentice, which isn't the norm, you know, in the GTA. For most are much more gas license focused, and the transition, you know, the learning curve for a company like that is quite large, but the learning curve for a company that is very steeped in refrigeration, it's a very small learning curve. But it's an important one because there's, like you said, you know, heat pumps are more complicated and the installation is more complicated. So the contractor that you choose is more important than ever, even with gas furnaces or air conditioners. And you know, if someone ever says to me, oh, you know, I really don't like heat pumps, the first thing that pops into my mind is you hired somebody that doesn't know heat pumps, and that's why you don't like heat pumps.
That's right.
Well, you know, the grants that we've had, you know, they've been great for homeowners to make that purchase and get it down. But I know when our service guys go out, you know, they send me pictures back going, look, this thing wasn't even mounted off the ground. Like, where's the water going to go when it defrosts? And I'm thinking, look, that customer really got the short end of the stick on that purchase, even though they bought a good piece of equipment.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame, because they deserve better.
Yeah.